utopia, take away the economy from those who rigged it. As I see it, class warfare, the only resort to right-wing doom. It's worth it. How to talk to your right-wing relatives, friends, and neighbors, and other books written by Egberto Willis. Welcome to Politics Done Right. My name is Egberto Willis, your host. Good morning, Houston. Good morning, Harris County. Good morning to the great state of Texas. Good morning to the United States of America. And of course, good morning to the world receiving our signals via the magic of El Internet, formerly known as the ARPANET. Created by whom? Created by we the people. We the people. We got a lot to talk about today, but I'm going to throw it to the studio real quickly so that we can get busy. But I want you to have, for a starter, I'm going to say, have Iran on your mind. That's not the main subject, but I just saw a few things on the news, and I just want to hit you up with a few things on Iran. Anyway, without further ado, let's move it on to the geniuses in the studio. We're talking about El Señor Jacques Van Beber and the one and only, that beautiful voice, Mayana. Good morning, folks.
Hey, Egberto. Good morning, Mayana. How are you?
I am
I'm doing
doing
okay
fine.
so far. Hey, Egberto. Hey, Jack. Kind of excited to just get started and, on everything that's going on. So, I just want to do the introduction so we can get going, right? All
Yes, ma'am.
right. Today's program connects three urgent warnings from the front lines of American democracy. A nurse pleads for the country to confront a collapsing healthcare system. A teacher battered by economic strain and personal crisis demands justice for working families. And an everyday American struggle to survive. Trump allies draft plans to consolidate extraordinary power over voting itself. Healthcare, economics, survival, and democracy are not separate crises. They are threads of the same unraveling fabric. This show exposes how they intersect and why organized civic action remains the only antidote.
All right, that was good. All right, Egberto, here we go. If the citizens of America would notice, Trump cries frauds over past elections, yet the current administrations, federal and state, are working to take control of the electoral process. The move to turn over election records to the Fed has an intimidating effect. The Fed, knowing the names and of the voters and the way they voted, could bring retaliation under Trump's administration. As you'll notice, he retaliates against the people who oppose him and American corporate power worldwide. Fascism brings authoritarianism. Autocracy is when they cheat the system to stay in power. Redistricting every voting cycle is constantly changing the playing field to keep Trump in power. And part what you said in your paragraph, Trump's allies are drafting plans to consolidate extraordinary power over voting itself. Here we
Yes, they
go.
are. There we go. Well,
Did you
thank
say
you for
that the
that.
FBI is taking like over the voting?
No,
Did you
no,
say
it's
that?
not.
They're make
No,
they're
go ahead.
they're making plans to consolidate power over voting. They haven't done anything yet,
Oh,
but
Yeah,
okay.
what
I
what
just want to clear
happens
that.
is, yeah, elections are controlled locally, pretty much. Locally, it's controlled by uh, the state. What Trump is wanting to do is declare emergency orders because that's the only way the federal government can really get into having anything to do with statewide elections. I mean, that's why even the Voting Rights Act required a special emergency, things like how certain people couldn't vote, etc. Now, what he's trying to declare an emergency, and he's going to use the claim that China somehow was involved in, or I think it was a 2020, all BS that have already been debunked, and to try to do that. But what I want folks to do, and I'm going to throw it. By the way, is Sandy in already or not?
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, let me go to Sandy. But before we go to Sandy, I just want to say what we have to realize is that when we give what he's saying plausibility, we give him power. He does not have the right to do it, and we have to start acting like we understand he doesn't have the right to do it. Because if we start to believe it's a possibility, then they will make it a reality. And that doesn't mean it's legal or not. It was illegal to intern the Japanese that are American citizens. That was an illegal, unconstitutional act. But Roosevelt did it anyway. We have to start knowing that, letting it be known we are not going to accept illegal, unconstitutional acts, because that gives them plausibility to do it, even if they know later on that they'll be overridden by the Supreme Court. By then, the election is over. So we have to start going in there from a position of strength and knowing our own rights as a country person. But anyway, let's go to our general manager, el hermano, el señor Sandy Wine.
Good morning, Egberto. Good morning, everybody listening. It's Friday. It's day number 16 of our winter fund drive, which we hope will end sometime in the middle of next week. But that will rely on our listeners taking the step to fund the station. Currently, we stand at $129,733 from 815 kind acts of donation, on our way up to $175,000. 713-526-5738 is our phone number to add to that total. We can push it over 130,000 on the show and then some. That would be great. Our goal for this program, $500, as it always is. And again, welcome everybody and good morning on Friday. Does the eagle fly on Friday? Egberto.
Thank you so kindly, Stanley. And let's make the eagle fly. Yesterday, as you know, I wasn't here. It took my wife to get a procedure done. Actually, it was an endoscopy because of some issues with her esophagus caused by lupus and her last shingles that she had. Lupus and shingles don't mix. Let me just tell you that. It can actually destroy a lot of stuff in any organ. Just remember that, folks. But it came out. I would say better than I expected, and I do believe that. Um, Before I go to Richard, I needed to hold a bit. I got to salute my folk. Jacqueline Campisi, first one in one of our chats, says good morning from Katy, Texas. Jacqueline Campisi, one of our professoras, one of our teachers in here. You guys know I love my teachers. We have Lisa Blair from Atlanta, Georgia, and of course we have the one and only Harry Denson from Missouri City, Texas. Thank you. Jacqueline says Trump is scared. He knows change is coming. That Harry Denton says, good morning, all at KPFT listeners and viewers around. We have Ruth Gingras Anderson, Cheryl Elkins, La Preciosa, who's running the the Zoom coffee for Egberto, and she has it already set. I imagine she'll put a link in there pretty soon. Vegan Cindy, welcome aboard. LVW, you are going to be one of the stars of the program this morning because I, I I cut and processed some of what that excellent call that we had yesterday on the 3 o'clock show. After I re-listened to it, I'm like, I have got to put that out. That was a hell of a not only inspiring, but I'm going to tell you, believe it or not, it's marching orders, baby. It's marching orders. And of course, LBW is our second professora that I actually know in here. I know there are many other teachers in our chat right now. LBW says, good morning, y'all. Mark Elias of Democracy Docket. Subscribe if you're not already. Is looking into this 17-page draft executive order about the election takeover mess. And one of the legal justification uses IPA, which has nothing to do with elections whatsoever. You nailed that. Jane B from North Carolina says, I hope your wife feels better. Egberto, it is a lupus thing affecting her coughing a lot, affecting her esophagus, and it is that's something she's going to have to work with. Thank you for asking, uh, Jane B. Cheryl Elkins says, I'm deeply concerned about ICE impersonating New York PD, saying they were searching for a missing 5-year-old girl to get entrance into Columbia dormitory and kidnap an undergraduate. It's amazing because Zodhan Mamdani actually got her release, as I recall. Uju M says, morning, voting is a right we have as American citizens. Yes, I am shouting it from the case. I'm shouting it in case the fascistic folks in the back are deaf. Thank you, beautiful. Chuck O'Connor is in the house. And thank you for putting that link in there, Cheryl. I'll go ahead and move it on as the show goes on. I tell you what, let me go to Richard, and then I have to say something about Iran. Come on in, Richard.
Positive thoughts to your wife. I
Thank you,
called
brother.
earlier this week. And I can tell you want to get people on and off. But I'm calling to advise people, to ask people to show up Saturday between 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock at the protest in Conroe. It's at North Loop 336 and I-45. There's plenty of places to park on the east side of 45 and on the west side of 45. It's protesting detention centers. It's protesting ICE. Last time, about 3 weeks ago, we had about 100 people. So please come out, as many as you can. It's safety in numbers. And that's this Saturday, tomorrow,
Thank
11
you.
o'clock to 1 o'clock.
Richard.
45 North Loop 336.
Thank you for that, Richard. Look, let me tell you, Richard is one of our great activists out there in Montgomery County. And if you know Montgomery County, you know that having a Richard out there in the past, you'd not have had it. And let me just tell you, they are changing Montgomery County. I can tell you that as a statement of fact. If you take a look at the voting that's going on in Montgomery County now, people are feeling empowered. And it's because of the work people like Richard and Laura, who's running for, I think it's what is it, 8th district? I can't remember what district it is. But Laura, I can't remember her last name, but she's running for Congress that covers that area as well. And she's well out there doing what needs to be done. Quick comment on Iran. Please do not allow our president to go ahead and start another war. And that requires action from us all. For those people who have been hoodwinked for decades about Iran, the Persian Empire and the Persian people, just like all other places have had great people, these are as well. We have to remember that the genesis of what occurred in Iran started with our overthrow, us and the British overthrow of Mossadegh, who was a patriot trying to maintain the country's natural resources in the hands of resources in the same domain as when Hugo Chavez in Venezuela started to say, how can we be sitting on the largest amount of oil, the largest amount of gold, and all these other resources, and our people are poor while we have a class that's making a whole lot of money, and our people are poor. And we put the Shah of Iran in there, who was brutal to his people, just like Baby Doc and Papa Doc were brutal to their people in Haiti and Somoza in Nicaragua, etc., that we supported. Let's not go to war for fascism or go to war for any of that. Let's stop it now. And also remember this. The claims that we are going to bomb the smithereens out of these people because they're building they're refining nuclear material into fissile material because they could possibly build a bomb. And we are scared that they may build a bomb, build ballistic missiles, and send it over here. You have to ask yourself, on what purpose? What purpose would they have to build a bomb to harm us, knowing that there is no competition, no country could possibly compete with us militarily? What purpose would they have to build something other than to make sure that nobody messes with them, just like we don't mess with North Korea because North Korea has the bomb. They defied everybody and built it. Now we don't mess with them because, hey, they may not be able to beat us, but if they detonate that bombs in the wrong place, it harms us all. Don't fall for the okey doke or the illogical, non critical thinking procedures. And the last thing that I want to say on this is simple. We are concerned about other people building bombs and using bombs. No, there are several countries. There are more than a dozen countries with the nuclear bomb. Only a few of them admit having it, right? Nobody has used the nuclear bomb. The only country that shows they have the moral capacity to use the nuclear bomb is us. We should have some humility when we talk about blowing other folks up because we're scared they'll have the bomb. We need to have humility because everybody can point to say the only country that has ever used a bomb and murdered millions of people are us. Let's have some humility here. Welcome aboard, Lynette from Northeast Pennsylvania. Love having you here. Thank you for keeping that chat room in order. Tina Turner as well. All right, before I continue with the video, and I hope you can stick around longer, LBW, because you're the star of this video. But anyway, here's the thing: we don't have any money on the screen yet. I got to raise $500. Yesterday I wasn't here. I put a little bit of pitching in between, speaking to Congressman Al Green and Congressman Christian Menifee, and didn't make my quota at all. But I'm asking you to start early. Please start early so that we can give more content. 713-526-5738, extension number 1. 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Please do that as in now if you can, because let me tell you, yeah, I want you to listen to Sandy, right? But while Sandy is going to be talking in a little bit for a little pitching, please go and make that call now so that we can have all our ears open to hear that conversation adjusted that we had with LBW yesterday. Because when I listened to that conversation last night and I cut it up, I'm like, wow, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. That is what people need to be hearing from the heart. So please do that now. Please give us a call. I want to thank you because I need to raise the 500. I need to raise the money we didn't raise yesterday because I wasn't here. 713-526-5738, extension 1 to donate. Remember to tell them it's for politics done right and give whatever you can. Hey, $5 a month, $10 a month. Coffee with Egberto, $250, that's $250. Or get a T-shirt, $100. Get a block with your insignia, 4x8 block, $25 a month, or an 8x8 block, $50 a month to show. Yes, guys, we're doing it. We do have our first contributor from Conroe, Texas. Thank you so kindly. We're now $400 away. Joni and Danny, thank you so kindly. I'm going to pass it on to Sandy now. Those of you that listen now, don't listen to Sandy. Go ahead and call and donate now. Thank you so kindly. Brother Sandy.
Thank you, Egberto, and thank you to Joni and Danny for getting us started this morning. They're picking up one of our vintage T-shirts that's been recreated for this drive. It pictures the universe with an arrow saying, "You are here." It's always good to know where you are. Tagline on the shirt, "The reason for radio, Pacifica." That would be us. And I want to thank you for getting us started again. $400 to go to the goal. By the time we come back Monday, KPFT will be 56. That's right. Sunday is our 56th birthday. How about that? KPFT, 56 years, commercial-free in Houston, Texas, supported by the public. Think about that for just a second, that remarkable occurrence. Commercial-free Pacifica Radio, 56 years right here in the heart of Houston and well beyond, as we're reaching all over the country now. But in 1970, that wasn't so much the case. We boosted that signal to 100,000 watts with a high-definition transmitter, bringing you 3 HD channels. And we are lacking apparently a cable that's going to be installed today to restore HD. It winked out yesterday. But folks, we'll be 56 Monday. So if you donate today, you'll be providing that birthday gift for us that we badly need. We're moving along here. This fund drive should be over sometime middle of next week, we're still hoping. And we can move on down the road with our regular programming without interruption. But as you're contemplating the morning, Friday morning, possibly thinking about the weekend upcoming, think about KPFT just for a couple of minutes here and what you get out of this station. If you could do $5 or $10 a month on our sustainer program, it means a lot. I know $5 a month is not a whole lot of money to ask for, I don't think. I mean, $5 a month, if you had that to spend, There's lots of options. And if you choose KPFT as the option, it will guarantee for not just you, but for many others, the idea that KPFT will be there when you turn the radio on, and you'll get programming like you're listening to now. The media landscape is changing. We talk about the chilling effect for journalists. A lot of this, I think, is intentional hyperbole out there. We're not scared. We're not controlled by the commercial dollar, and the government gives us no money. It comes from listeners. That independence can't be measured. The content on this station can't be matched. So won't you join in and support what you're listening to, support what is so important to our community, KPFT, 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. This is an important mission we're on to raise this money, as it is every fund drive, because without these fund drives, there would have been static on the airwaves a long, long time ago. And we are not going to let that happen. We meaning all of us. So join in, won't you? Do your part. Let's get to that $500 goal and even beyond. We did fall short, well short yesterday. And the day before, I think we were short by a few dollars too. So let's start a new winning streak here on Politics Done Right. Support Egberto. He works so hard to bring you this show. 713-526-5738. Hit option 1 or mouse it over to kpft.org. There on the donate button, there's ways to donate that include credit card. We can send you a envelope that you can return the money in. You can use PayPal. There's all kinds of ways to do this. Choose the one that suits you best, but do choose to support our community radio station, Egberto.
Thank you so kindly, Sandy. Thank you so kindly. And folks, I have in the other chat the link that Cheryl Elkins put together for the Zoom coffee with Egberto that she so kindly contributed for. So please go ahead and click that link, Coffee with Egberto. She's running that show. Cheryl Elkins is. Thank you so kindly, Cheryl. All right. Yesterday we had like you guys know, I told you I went to the hospital to get my wife her procedure, all that good stuff. I say good stuff, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so I didn't have a show for the afternoon, so we winged it. We winged the show in the afternoon. And talking about winging it, you guys ran the thing, man. And there was an interaction that we had with LBW that after I was processing the show to turn it into the podcast last night, I said, wow, that was actually very, very good. Thank you, LBW. And then there's another person that gave me a link to a nurse and a story that we read on air. And that turned out that was really good. I'm going to try to get that nurse on. But I wanted to play you the interaction we had with LBW yesterday. I took out a few things just to make sure that we could, one for timing and also a couple of repetitious stuff. So here we go, and then we'll take it on the other side. How are you doing, LBW?
I'm doing okay. How are you, Egberto?
We're fighting, not I. We are fighting the good fight, LBW. What?
We are. I just, so I wanted to talk about, this elder care situation. Ray has gone through this recently. I went through it from 22 to 23. My dad got diagnosed with esophageal cancer, and I had to be his primary caregiver because my mom's disabled. But unfortunately, 8 months into his disease, he succumbed to it and he passed away. I had FMLA because I had been at my job, luckily, over a year, but I had to use every single one of my sick days,
Yes.
And as a teacher, and I missed a ton of time with my students. And then after my dad passed away, because my mom is disabled, she had to move in with me, and I had to renovate my bathroom because she's in a wheelchair, and that was $16,000. And caring for someone in your home when you have children and you have a job, and my mom got diagnosed with multiple myeloma.
Oh.
And so now I'm taking her to cancer treatments all the time and missing work. And it's just, I know a lot of people are scared of this like democratic socialism situation, but when you really think about it, we pay so much into the system, we give so much to the system, and so much of our money is given to these corporations who just stack cash and they don't care about people and they don't provide benefits for people who work for them full time. You know, you think about Walmart and Amazon who work people 39 and a half hours a week and then they don't give them benefits and they're not paying a dime of taxes when I'm paying, 23 or 24, 25% of my paycheck in taxes probably. You just think about the situation, and if this money was distributed equitably, we could have childcare, we could have elder care, we could have medical professionals who are rested, we could have teachers who are rested and have appropriate class sizes. I mean, it's just, I look forward to rebuilding our world in a better way, in a more humanist way. And I have to hope that we can get there. But I know that there are so many people like me who are just running on fumes. And I really hope that we all just show up and vote and do the right thing. And we can make it through this and we can build a better way. We have to, because there's just no way about it.
Let me tell you something, LBW, because this is important what you just said. With what you just said, with the passion of what you said, with the honesty and living it, that testimony has more importance than anything anybody would say. And you went ahead and used the word democratic socialism because that is how, let's say, Bernie Sanders and others who want to have these policies that would make life better for every single American. That's how they defined it. But imagine if we took the word off, right? And just went ahead and individually modified the policies to do that and ensured that the billionaire who actually is getting these funding on your back, LBW, on Bobby's back, on my back, on everybody else's back. Imagine if we found a way to express that with the right voice. And in listening to you right now, voices like that, because you giving a testimony like that is something somebody can understand much easier than even coming from, let's say, an activist that is out there doing the right thing, but folks have learned that, well, that person is an activist. That's all they do, activism. Your voice means so much. And I want to change one other thing that you said. I don't believe in hope, LBW. I am not hoping. I am saying it's going to take time and it's going to take a lot of work, but we are going to define what we are going to be. And you are part of those defining what it's going to be. And I'm not saying that just for words. I'm saying that is that's what I have dedicated the rest of my life to do. And I think people are coming along, and just the little things that we do here in Kingwood, just in this town, to see how a lot of stuff is changing one at a time. I'm saying you make a difference, sis.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I mean, there's so many times that I've just thought, like, I want to challenge Dan Crenshaw for his seat because I feel like I'm smarter than him. And I feel like I know more about the world around me than he does in his little encapsulated, office that he's never at. But, you're trapped in this, system, right? Like you say, antiseptic slavery, and there's no way for you to break out of it and do things like run for office or run for the State Board of Education Place 8, which I could have run for had I had the financial security to do so and the freedom to do so and not be a caregiver to my mother who's in my house and my child who's, in elementary school. And I think that seats need people like me. Seats, the seat
let me tell you,
government that's what it used to be. It used to be of the people for the people, and now it's of the billionaires for the billionaires. And I need it to get back to that spot where people will go and take their turn in Congress and do things that they know need to be done for their community, and then come back home and get their jobs back and be back in the community instead of just squatting on seats for 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 or 70 years. God help us, these old white men need to leave office.
I want to tell you a quick story. there is a Analalia Mejia. Analilia Mejia. I met her at Netroots in either Pittsburgh or Philadelphia. I don't remember which town it was, which city it was. And she is an activist, a mom, a wife, all these things. She sounded like you. She went up against the machine in New Jersey. She is now Congresswoman Analilia Mejia with supporting the exact types of policies you just pointed out. We have to find, and she had a structure under her. Bernie Sanders, AOC, and all of them built that structure around her to lift her up. When we have people like you said, God, I wish I could run against Crenshaw. I think people like myself, we need to find a way to build a structure so that we can say, LBW is articulate. She's lived it. She's able to do it. How can we fund her being able to run in a district like this, support her financially as she does it, and do more? We have to find structures to do that. They're dependent on us never finding those structures to do that. And I think that is something we should commit to do, LBW. Look, I have Bobby on the line as well, but look, let's find a way to get you to run.
We'll talk about all of it at coffee one day.
At coffee with Egberto.
I'm going to have coffee with you, and we'll figure it out. So
yes,
we'll
ma'am.
Talk
Thank
about
you.
It.
Thank you so kindly. You just tell me when, all right?
All right. I got you. Have a good day.
You too now. I mean, when I went back and listened to this call, I was like, this was beautiful. This is what, I mean, and LBW, by the way, remember what I said, not hopeful, not hopeful. Damn it, we are going to do it. Not hopeful, beautiful. We gonna do it. It won't take time. It doesn't happen overnight because we have to get to the hearts of other people, right? Hey, we got a big thank you from Michigan to Patty and Tag. Hey, Tag, you always come through, brother. You always come through. Now, folks, we are 350 away, and we have a challenge in the chat. We have let me see if I can read that challenge from from our one and only Cheryl Elkin says, Egberto and KPFT team, I would be happy to host a monthly Zoom coffee with Egberto for sustaining donors if that's a nice carrot. Hell yes, it's a nice carrot. Come on, sustainers. $5 a month, $10 a month. And automatically you're into Cheryl's Coffee with Egberto. Monthly on a Zoom. Come on, man. We going to give the time if you give the prime. Hey, I rhymed. Hey, and again I rhymed. Wow. I don't even rap. 713-526-5738. Again, 713-526-5738. I don't know if my brother in Michigan is listening, Tom Zarnik. He's what we call the PDR resident poet because he comes up with these limericks all of the times and he does the rhyming perfectly. I don't know how he does it, right? Guess if you're listening, Tom Zarnik, I did it. Only 3 sentences. I don't think I'll ever be able to do it again, but I did it. Anyway, folks, we're still missing some money, some moolah. Please give us a call, 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Whatever you can. Cheryl has an offer on the table. Come on, man. $5 a month, $10 a month. I give $10 a month because, like I said, and by the way, I want you to understand. Some people say, I ain't giving that dude that's talking on that screen any damn money. It's not coming to me. It's all going to the studio. I'm just a front man trying to get some money for the studio so we can keep this very important station on air. That's it, folks. You're given to KPFT 90.1 FM, a tax deductible contribution to KPFT 90.1 FM, and we can't do it without you. And look, I got a lot of programming that's been building up. One of the things with these, when you have these fund drives, is you get I have all these interviews that still need to be aired. good people. I have guys like a financial analyst, Mr. Weems from Marlon Weems. I have an interview. I have one in with Arturo Dominguez, also known as Extreme Arturo, to be played here. Another one with another congressman. I can't recall the name right now. We got stuff lined up for as soon as we go back to regular programming, folks. We know what we need to do to support you. We are asking you now to do something to support us. $5 a month, $10 a month, $100 T-shirt, coffee with Egberto, 250. We already have, I think, 4 of those lined up for this fun drive. You guys gonna have me driving all over the damn county, man. But love it. So let's do it. Anybody else want to do a coffee with Egberto? $250, $250. A T-shirt, $100. That remember what this is, okay? We're just talking about donations here. I hope Sandy is back from his coffee. So let's go to Sandy. Before I go to Sandy, let's go to Van Beber. You said you needed to announce something, Van Beber. Let's talk about it, brother.
Yeah, this weekend I'm going to be out on the lawn by Wyman Plaza picking up donations for the Manna Food Bank, having a kind of a drive-by thing, and Sunday we'll have cake.
Yes, thank you, man. The birthday cake. It's Sunday's our birthday, man. El primero de marzo, March 1st. Let's go ahead and go to Sandy. Thanks you for that, buddy.
Thank you,
Sandy.
Egberto, and thanks to Patty and Tag up in Michigan. Good to hear from you, Tag. Hope everything's going well up there. And also, Joni and Danny have gotten us started. Currently, we're $350 shy of the goal of $500 for this program. And we are now at $129,883. Somebody have $117, we can round up to $130. That's the way it works. A lot of people giving a little bit of money. This is community radio. We're not looking for one person to write the check. We're not looking for a commercial sponsor or even an underwriter to pay the bill for the whole station. What we really, really need is a lot of people that listen doing their part, a little bit, $5 a month. Again, it's not a whole lot. It takes just a couple minutes to become a member when you call the number or go on the website. Easy enough to navigate, and some really wonderful thank you gifts, including the birthday party on March 29th in the form of a crawfish boil with music from Los Vertigos and the Zydeco Dots, all the crawfish you can eat, a couple of drink tickets on the way in the door, and this is going to be held at the Knights of Columbus Hall on 601 East Whitney, which is near Cross Timbers and 45, not far at all from that intersection, kind of central to the Houston, and also the boat ride with Nuri Nuri in April. Just a couple of wonderful events. But do your part, whatever that might be. If it's $5 a month, that's wonderful. If you can do a little more, say 10, that's really great. For those of you with sustaining memberships already, thank you for that. You've made a huge difference. Consider taking your $5 a month contribution and making it 10, or the $10 a month contribution and adding 5 or 10 bucks to it. It makes a big difference. I know I have a sustaining membership. I did just that at the start of this drive. I do it every year, just up at $5. I think that's a good place to put my money because, well, I believe in the mission of Pacifica, giving the voice to the voiceless and having this wonderful platform. If you do too, if you want to continue this grand experiment, now 56 years old on Sunday, then call that number and show it and put support down. We're trying to make a goal on this program. We're trying to make a goal on this drive. But let's start with this program. Each program must be self-sustaining. If we give airtime to people that come on and attract no audience and don't get funded, then I ask you, what is the definition of that? I'm searching for one. This program is not in that category. This audience is incredibly supportive. We've got a little bit more to go. When we come back next week, we'll be that much closer to the goal. And by the third of the month, when the sustaining rollovers kick in for the month of March, which will be added to this drive, will be right near the line. So we're hopeful of ending this, at least making our goal on this, sometime next week. The crawfish boil, the boat ride will still be out there. The T-shirts will still be out there. But KPFT will still be out there because of your generosity. Consider it, folks. 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. And as we sit here and speak, Egberto, we've got a lot of people online right now. And it would be great to hear from a few of them. There are 85 people tuned into the server right now. I'd like to see a couple people out there just kind of move the mouse over to the donate button at kpft.org and chime on in. Don't be shy. It's our station. It's our goal. 713-526-5738. Politics Done Right t-shirt, $100 as well. I need to mention that. Support and show your support by wearing it. Egberto.
Thank you so kindly, Sandy. Hey, John A is in the chat. Bobby K is in the chat. I think I saluted Lynette.
Okay,
Vegan
thank you,
City.
Sandy.
Vegan City also likes Marlon. Marlon is great. Love me some Marlon too, man. Let's see what else we got here. I need to let him know that even though he's way out there in South Carolina, he's been talked about here in Houston. Tamar Kranik, welcome aboard. We have para ver all of you here. If I don't get to you and you want me to throw you out here, please just put your name, put your city and state, and I'll go ahead and call you out. But just love having all of you here with us today. We're still $350 shy, and I know a lot of the folks here have already supported. I'm trying to get those that Sandy's talking about, those on the KPFT server. We have all of those that are listening over the air in their cars, in their homes, over their FM radios, over their digital radios. We are heard in many different places all at once. Please do that now. Call 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Remember to tell them this is for this is for Politics Done Right. You can also go to kpft.org, hit the donate button, select Politics Done Right as the program you're supporting, and give whatever you can. And don't forget, Cheryl Elkin says, "Hey, we'll have a Zoom call with me." That's sort of very, it's fairly personal here, but the Zoom is even more personal, where we can actually all chat together, see faces. If you want to show faces but talk voices, we can do all of that. 713-526-5738, extension number 1, or kpft.org. I'm a $10 a month contributor, even as I do this. A lot of work to put this morning program and get up and do this, but it's important, folks. It's important. This is important work that we do. Please support it. Please make sure it doesn't go away, and you are the one who has the power to do that. One of our great contributors is online right now, brother Jimmy. Come on in, Jimmy. How you doing, sir?
Good morning, everybody. I got two things. First of all, today is the last day for early voting. If you don't vote today, then you can vote on Tuesday, March the 3rd. But be sure to vote. And you mentioned Iran at the beginning of the program. I hope President Trump does not start a war with Iran. Did you have some new news about Iran?
No, actually, this morning the thing is, like, it may not be imminent after all, because Iran is trying to play ball, things like lock up our fissile material. What they don't want are fizzing down the material. In other words, instead of keeping it at that high concentration level, bring it down to another level. Let me tell you, these are all things that upset me, that we have another country going into another country and telling them you can't do this because we think if you do this you're going to do XYZ with it. We don't have no, but we will not allow anybody to come into the United States and say we don't want you processing the lead that you have in your mines because you may use it for bullets that come over the border in Mexico and kill Mexicans, right? Because that's what's happening right now. All these guns in Mexico right now are coming from the United States. Who's killing all these? If we follow American methodology, all these killings in Mexico by these AR-15s and otherwise, those are guns exported from the United States to Mexico, both legally and illegally, and they're killing Mexicans. So when they talk about, well, fentanyl is killing Americans, oh my God, you're right about that. But again, let's have some humility. What else you got for me, Jimmy?
Yeah, we should not be selling guns to Mexico, and Israel also is after Iran. Israel does not want Iran to have a nuclear weapon, so we have to deal with Israel on that. But it's a complicated world, and we hopefully will stop having wars.
I'm with you. I'm with you. We need to stop having wars. Wars is one of the most stupid things to do. Unfortunately, wars remain because that our capitalist countries make a lot of money because we supply the arms to both sides. While we have people fighting on both sides, we give both sides arms. That's a very lucrative business.
The worst person in the world right now is Putin of Russia. His war on Ukraine is totally unwarranted. He's killing thousands of people in Ukraine and thousands of Russian soldiers. It's all on Putin. That man is horrible.
Yeah, you got that right, Jimmy. You got that right. All right, Jimmy, thank you again. I got to play another video, and I need to, after that, we have to get into some pitching. My brother Glenn Ryan is here. He says, tell Jimmy to stop voting for neoliberals if he wants to stop wars. Hey, you know what, Jimmy, one of these days, here, I'm talking to Jimmy. You and Glenn Ryan and I have to go and get some coffee. Not at Starbucks this time, Glenn. Find us a coffee shop, all right, Glenn, and then we head out there, brother. We'll head out there. All right, folks, before I jump to the video, I need to ask you again, please call 713-526-5738. I am stuck at missing 350. We only have 150 so far. Need to raise 500 and whatever we could over that to cover for what I didn't make yesterday while I was out, as well as a couple other days we didn't miss. You can make a difference. I ask you so kindly to make a difference. Let's play this video on about nurses. I want to give umbrage to nurses, and then we'll continue doing a little bit of pitching to try to ask you. Please support us. Oh, well, Betty's on the line. Let's get Betty first. Hello, beautiful Betty. How you doing?
Well, I want to call and say I'm alive, and I'm jumping up and down for people to donate. Give 90.1 Alberto, care to join us, sit in. We're talking little money, long-lasting, with long-lasting time. Love y'all.
Love you, Betty. You have a wonderful rest of your day. Let's get busy con este video in umbrage of nurses. Laura has message from a nurse. Oh, let me see what that says. Laura, you see, you have me thinking now. If you say message for a nurse, you know I'm going to try to get to it. Let's see what the message from a nurse is saying. America, I'm a nurse and I'm begging you to listen. Many of you know me as investigative journalist, and I am, but that's not my career. My career is nursing. I am a registered nurse and I'm so tired. This is my white flag. I go to work in a job that demands everything I have, my body, my patience, my skills, my emotions, my sleep, my safety. I take care of people on the worst days of their lives. I keep them alive. I comfort them when no one else is there. I deal with the fear, grief. I deal with fear, grief, blood, chaos, and constant alarms, and the kind of human suffering most people never have witnessed up close. Very true. We never talk about the part, the emotional toll, the psychological labor, the fact that nurses walk people to the edge of life and stay there with them so they do not have to be there alone. I have trauma from terminally wearing a woman's oxygen while holding her hands because she asked me to stay. I walked with her from the beginning to the end. I saw it through. I sat in her silence. I felt her leave the world. I then wiped my face, charted it, and moved on to the next call, because that is what the job demands. People think nursing is just tasks, but tasks don't follow you home. Voices do. Faces do. The ones you saved, the ones you couldn't, the ones who asked you to stay. I get yelled at, I get insulted, I get grabbed, I get blamed, I get treated like a maid, a servant, a therapist, a social worker, a mother, and a crisis negotiator all while being expected to smile through the disrespect. When a patient or a family member abuses me, the first question some nurse administrator asks is, "Are you okay? But what did you do to cause it? What could you have done to stop it?" As if the violence is our fault, as if we are the ones who need correcting. Nurses are treated like an expense to be contained, exactly, not like people who keep the lights on and the patients breathing. We are built into the room rate, but somehow never considered essential. It is a strange kind of invisibility. The system cannot function without us, but it acts like we are endlessly replaceable. As work itself is designed to grind us down. 12-hour shifts, bodies aching, nerves shot, a 30-minute lunch that vanishes half the time because most hospitals do not staff break nurses. That happened to me. Instead of addressing unsafe staffing, the impossibility acuity leadership dragged us to a meeting to ask why we aren't taking our breaks. As if the problem is our attitude and not a system that runs on fumes of exhausted people who are too much to abandon their patients. That's capitalism, Leader Bearcat. These women must work that way because that's capitalism. That is capitalism. Nursing grew out of a world that expected women to give until they disappeared. The job still carries that expectation. And now, as the profession collapses under the impossible weight, the larger system has decided to pull support too. The Department of Education changed how it classifies graduate nursing programs. Many advanced nursing degrees no longer count as professional degrees. That means students lose access to the federal loans and supports the law, medicine, and other fields still get. Nursing students already drown in debt. The decision shoves the next generation even further underwater. At the same time, federal policies are squeezing other public service fields like teaching and public health. LBW would understand. The message is the same. We want the labor. We do not want to invest in the people who provide it, the people that we most depend on. The people we most depend on are the people that are castrated by capitalism. This is my white flag. I'm telling the truth. I am human. I'm exhausted. I care deeply, but caring cannot keep holding up a system that refuses to support us. Something has to change, and it has to change soon. I could not have written anything any better. I could not have written anything any better. That is capitalism for you. For all of you, those women have been bled dry. Our teachers bled dry. You know why? Capitalism. We don't want to pay the taxes to educate our kids. We don't want to pay the taxes for the people who spend more time with our kids than most parents spend with their own damn kids. We don't want to pay the people that have to clean up our feces or urine, all this crap that they have to go through. While the guys who make all the big bucks are sitting up there in a tall tower getting stock options and saying, no, it is okay. But you know what? You support that, America. You are the one. When I speak about capitalism is a fraud, I'm coming to you, Ray. I really am coming to you, my brother. When we talk about capitalism as a fraud, when we talk about the parasitic nature of capitalism, this is what I'm talking about. The people out there that are actually doing the work, being used like, when I use the word antiseptic slavery, some get upset. No. Maybe they should get upset not because I call it antiseptic slavery. They should say there's nothing antiseptic about it. It is slavery. And, you know, again, it's hard for us. And by the way, yes, Lynette, I did contact the author of the piece. I'm going to try to get her. After I contacted the author of the piece, I got an email from another Substacker who said, yes, they actually tried to get they actually got her online. So yeah, I am going to see if she's willing to come on to Politics Done Right and talk about it. That paper was written, I think, in November or sometime like that. And thanks to Laura, I see Laura is in the chat right now. Laura is the one who dropped that article into our chat yesterday. And, you know, if she drop an article and it says nurses, you bet your life I'm going to pick it up. It's like somebody drop an article that says teachers, right? I'm going to read that damn thing right away. because you guys are our heroes. And if you don't have anybody telling you that, here it is on radio being sung. Here it is on YouTube being sung. Here it is on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. Our teachers and our nurses are heroes. No questions asked. I want to give a big, big, big thank you to, let's see, Clara and Truda. Thank you so kindly. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you. I want to give a big thank you to Delilah. Delilah says, thank you, knows that she is listening to him and she cares to support and she wants the good work to continue. Thank you, Preciosa. Thank you so kindly. Folks, we are now about $200 shy. Guess what? If somebody just says, let me have un café con Egberto, have a coffee with Egberto, that would put us right over. Anybody willing? I'll drive any part of Harris County to meet you guys. Well, within limits now. Don't take me to some Timbuktu or something. Well, we'll find a central location and coffee. Or look, we get two people with ¿cómo se llama? $10 a month. $10 a month, right? Two sustainers or four people with $5 a month. It'll do it. It'll do it. I tell you what, we're coming close to the station break at 7. I think Sandy said we're going to about 7:05 or so. So let me pass it back to Sandy for some pitching, and then we'll be kind of back to start winding this baby down. Sandy.
Thank you, Egberto, and thanks to everybody stepping up. We're a couple $100 away from the goal. So easy to make the goal, so easy to lose KPFT when we don't. 713-526-5738. A $10 a month pledge will get you a pound of coffee beans, the Caroline Street blend from Cruiser Coffee, Cruiser Roasters, and a coffee mug from which to drink that coffee. 713-526-5738 or kpft.org. This is the time where we tank up the bank account so that we can glide over the next 3 months, not doing what we're doing now, which is interrupting programming, interrupting valuable airtime, and we don't want to do that. The content, the mission that we're on as Pacifica, the mission that we're on as KPFT, the mission that we're on as listeners, our community, is way too important to take up time to ask you for money. However, if we don't, there's nothing to talk about because there won't be KPFT without the ability to pay bills. So please understand that. Clara and Truda, thank you. Delilah, thank you. Those couple of donations pushed us over the $130,000 mark, so that's great. A couple of $100 more to go on this program, and we will be whole. And then we will pass the baton and get through our Friday and onward. Onward through, I would say, the fog. But with KPFT, at least you have a guiding light of some sort to get you through the day. So won't you please join in one more time? 713-526-5738. Egberto.
Thank you so kindly, Sandy. You know, I love my chats. You rub my head so nicely. You rub my head. Thank you, Joe. Joe say, dudes and dudettes, the sun is about to rise in LA. Why do I wake up early? Cause Egberto rocks. I love you, girl. I love you, man. Thank you. Stroke my head, my bald head. Yes, I feel good about that. Let's see. Lita Bearcat, thank you for being here. But remember, Lita Bearcat, go sign up as well for that thing that Cheryl is doing. Our chat on the 6th between 7 and 9 o'clock. Because we want to hear all voices. Go sign in, brother. Go sign in. And by the way, are you a supporter? I hope you become a supporter. If you're not, let me know if you are or not. I don't know. But anyway, folks, give me a call, 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Or you can go to kpft.org. That is kpft.org and sign up or rather and donate. Remember, when you hit that donate button, scroll down to Politics Done Right to show that the contribution is for Politics Done Right, and then give whatever you can. Here's my ask: $5 a month if you can. $10 a month if you're able to, $15 a month, great. Whatever you can. You had somebody that called one time, and I'll be honest with you. On my other show, you had somebody call and said, "Oh, I am on Social Security, and I don't have any, but I love it so much. I am given, I think it was $10 or something like that." I looked and I said, "Ma'am, thank you, but you just keep listening, and here's what I'd like you to contribute. Share the program. You need that." So we are honest here. You hear Sandy say it all the time. Give what from your disposable income. That extra coffee that you can give is great, but give what you can. We cherish those folks who feel we want to be a part of it, and you're a part of it too. 713. This is KPFT Houston. Have to give a station ID at the turn of the hour. So, folks, please give us a call. 713 526 5738, extension number 1. There's I used to be a Christian. I'm a humanist now. My wife is still a Christian. She's a deacon in a church. My daughter's still a Christian. But I became a deacon. I became deacon, became a humanist after I had an issue with the church not helping us with divestiture from South Africa. I left altogether. But that is not here or there. The reason I'm telling you that is I know all the books of the Bibles. I grew up in that environment. And I remember, I think it was, I don't remember which parable it was, and this woman who could only give very little. And the gist of the parable was the person that gave the most was that person who least had. But as a percentage of what they had, it was so big. If Oprah gives somebody $100,000 and Oprah gave that is nothing compared to what she could do. Let's say to create an independent station to fight the evils in this country. But for all of you that are listening to me, all of you that are listening to me right now, that have a Spear 10, a Spear 5, that is so much better, so much bigger than that Oprah doing $100,000 or whatever. And that we understand from the depths of our hearts. We understand what it means. We understand what it means. So again, I want to ask you kindly, 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Tell them, let them know what you want to donate. $5 a month, $10 a month, $15 a month, a t-shirt, whatever. And they'll fix it up to let it record accordingly. Or go to kpft.org, hit that donate button. Select Politics Done Right and give whatever you can. I'm going to throw it to Mayana and Jack, and then I'm going to close this baby down.
I was just thinking that I'm going to take up that plight of, putting out ideas to people that it's okay to be a democratic socialist. And yeah, really just trying to hone in on that for people, because I do think that it's important, because I'm tired too. So
There you go. I hear you, girl. Jack.
This is KPFT 90.1 FM Houston, and please come out to the Fun Drive Food Drive this weekend. I'll be there taking donations. Thank you.
And also giving cake, right? You gonna have some icing on that cake?
Yes, we'll have cake Sunday.
No, that wasn't my question though. I want to know if it's gonna have icing. I need the sugar, man.
icing on the cake.
I haven't seen the cake yet.
Okay, Jack. All right, Jack. Anyway, I want to give Susan, thank you, our beautiful Susan. Now we are just $50 away from the magic number. Thank you, Susan. So much love for you, sis. We're $50 away. You can do it before we end the show. We have a minute and a half to go. 713-526-5738, extension number 1, or go to kpft.org. As I leave the program now, you can still given the name of Politics Done Right by ensure, and that is from Seabrook, Texas. Thank you, beautiful. That is simply by hitting that donate button at kpft.org, selecting Politics Done Right, and also uh, select whatever you want. $5 a month, $10 a month, whatever you can. LBW says when you remove the Democratic Socialist label from it, the policies are overwhelmingly popular with the general public. And that we've proven that so many times, LBW. We've proven that so many times. I got to get out of here. Anyway, folks, the rest of the program is at politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. You can email me directly, and I try my best to get to the emails in a timely fashion. kpft@politicsdoneright.com. kpft@politicsdoneright.com. Look, I love you all. Thank you for your support. My name is Egberto Willis. This is Politics Done Right, and you guys know how I end this baby. I am what? Out.
We're going to